Hey guys, it's John Van Dyne, Healing Professor here, and today we're going to talk about upper cross syndrome, thoracic kyphosis, or just hunchback posture, what it causes, what causes it, and how we're going to fix it. Okay, so let's get into it. What is hunchback posture, thoracic kyphosis? Basically, it's where the upper back vertebrae are rounding forward like a banana. It looks like this. You see it a lot with older people, but the scary thing is that we're seeing 68% of teenagers developing this thoracic kyphosis and forward head posture, which means everybody's vulnerable to this thing. It's not just the elderly. If the teenagers are getting it, then the middle-aged are getting it, the mid to late ages are getting it, and the seniors already have it. So what's causing it? Why do we have it happening so much? Well, it's really about the postures that you take every single day for the most time and the most repetitions. Now, what categories do those fall into? We have technology that puts us into those positions. We have furniture that puts us into those positions, thinking about the beds that cave you in, the chairs that don't have lumbar support, and then we have muscle imbalances that are perpetuated by gym routines, workout routines, and the exercises that you do. For example, golfers are always pitched forward like this, a lot of rounded backs there. You have cyclists who are always reaching forward and closing the hips and rounding the back. And even tennis, you have the ready position, you're right here. If you're not diligent about keeping your posture back, it's going to round forward. Now, we didn't even mention the technology. The 46 times every single day that you look down at your phone, that's 46 every single day, but how many hours do you spend at the computer where you're rounded forward like this, or a laptop where you're looking down because it's literally on your lap? It's very destructive to your posture. It could be causing a lot of the pain that you have. In long term, it could be hurting your bones, your discs, your energy, your mood. It could be causing headaches, lethargy, depression. A lot of research has gone into this, so we gotta look at very closely our habits every single day. And if you take a look at exactly what you're doing every single day during your daily chores even, you'll find that it's much more tempting to round forward than it is to bring you back. Almost nothing that you're doing day to day is bringing your posture up, open, tall, and back. It's always bringing you slouched and forward. I'm telling you, just take a look every single day at what the inclination is when you sit, when you type, when you're on the technology, when you sleep with too many pillows. You have to become aware, because if you're not aware of every single time that you vacuum, you're rounding your back, brushing your teeth, literally every time you go to take a bite to eat, you're rounding your back by bringing your neck and your back closer to the food instead of the other way around. I'm telling you, every single thing that you're doing is bringing you into this round back, hunchback posture. And if we can reverse that, you're on your way to feeling better, having better energy, avoiding injury, and looking better. Because there's nothing that looks worse than when you take a picture with a girl and you're like this, or when you just look shorter and more depressed and weaker because you walk in to a door and you're not looking tall, you're not looking confident. So we're going to go into some things that we can do to start reversing this, and it's going to really help you. So let's look. The thing before we get into it, you always want to remember that before we start this exercise posture correction routine, that if you're doing any of the exercises and it starts producing pain, then you can do it at a lighter intensity. But if it keeps on getting worse as you do more repetitions, stop. You have to go see a doctor because the exercise isn't for you. So be very careful, take your time, go slow with these exercises. Sometimes it will be a little bit uncomfortable as you release the muscles, that's okay, but it should get easier and more comfortable as you go into it and through it, whether it's time with the soft tissue releases or if it's repetitions of the exercises. It should start to feel better after about 5 to 10 repetitions. If not, stop, move on, see a doctor for this issue. Another thing that you want to consider is it could take years to develop this rounded back posture. So you really have to see this as a long-term investment that within maybe even one day or 1 week, your pain levels will significantly lower. You start to feel better, your energy will be better. But in terms of you actually fixing how you look, it's gonna be a gradual process. It's not gonna happen overnight, and you might have to stick with it for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. It just depends on how bad your posture already is. So set up a schedule. I recommend doing some of these exercises every day, but at least 3 times a week, depending on your personal status and how bad your posture is, your pain levels. But stick to a routine, make it easy for yourself, and do the exercises at a time of day that will be convenient for you, that you can stick with, so that you can have consistency. Because it takes time, but overall, the most important thing is it takes consistency. Changing your habits, but also doing the exercises. They're both integral pieces of the puzzle.
Alright, let's jump right into the voiceover. So this is the first exercise. It is the vertical foam rolling extension drill. Now notice that my neck is at the very top of the foam roller. It's actually a rumble roller that has little knobs. And what's even better is if you let your neck hang off, because that's putting your whole upper back and neck into extension. Now this is the same exercise, but it's a horizontal roller. The main idea here is to get extension in the back, the upper back particularly. Notice how I'm going in 1-inch increments. That's really important. Make sure you support your neck with your hands. You want repetitions here. You want to get a lot of movement in between those vertebrae. You want to break adhesions of the fascia. And this is also really, really good for your vertebrae. This is good for herniated discs. You want extension anyhow. So do about 20 reps and then hold it into extension. Get some twisting. Roll out the lats right there. And then rotate your knees left and right. Basically, you want to pin down the fascia and then move the body in a lot of different ways. Here I'm doing a spinal twist. And then you just flip all the way over onto it. This is releasing the chest. And it's pretty effortless right here. Again, you want to release the chest because those fibers are going to pull you and round you forward in the upper back. So put your arms overhead, put them down by your side like a penguin. Move your body around. That's one thing I really have to emphasize. Roll around. Move your neck. Move your shoulders. Rotate your back. Now this is a great way to stretch your chest and release your chest. Now this is one of the best releases I've ever found for the chest. You really have to try it. This is a rumble roller. It has little knobs that really massages your chest. And the pec minor too, the deltoids if you position it correctly. Now you see me rolling out my lats. Lats also internally rotate the shoulders, so you want to release all that. Get creative, roll all the way around, release the tricep, because that also extends the humerus. Now, here's another way that you can get some more extension in your spine. It's the opposite of flexion. What that was is 2 tennis balls in a sock. You position it in between your vertebrae, your spine, so that it's not on the spine. It's on the muscles to the left and right. And you do the exact same thing as you did with the foam roller. You really just want to release all those soft tissue adhesions in between the vertebrae and get your back to go into extension. So you do that all the way up and down. Now, looking at this exercise, this is a Mackenzie extension push-up. Basically, we just want to get more extension in the spine. It's pretty basic. So go ahead and do 20 of those extensions, and we're moving right into YTWs. Now, notice with this one, the thumb is up towards the sky. I'm retracting my shoulders. I'm extending my back. I'm extending my neck. I'm squeezing my glutes. This is working all the muscles that you need to strengthen on the back side of the body. Plus, you're getting extension motion. This is taking out that rounding, that hump in your back. Now you notice I started with my arms by my side, then in the middle, that's like the T, and now this is like the Y. You do 20 in each position, guys, and you can also hold it for 20 seconds and do repetitions. Now looking at this exercise, squeeze the hands behind the back, you're squeezing the shoulders back, and you're moving the fingers down. That's the big thing. You're not just squeezing the shoulders back like this, you are actually getting your hands to go down. Now, it's pretty fast paced, but we're looking at a chin tuck exercise now. That's what I was showing. I was tucking the chin back. Read more about that on my blog. Here, I'm getting extension standing. I'm pushing my back into extension. Another thing you can do is just take a bar, a pipe, stretch out those front shoulders, guys. Stretch out the chest. Go a little bit wider if it's too difficult. You want to get some side bending motion. The more motion you have in your back, the better. Basically, if you're flexed forward all day, you're not going to have a lot of motion. And all of these, just do 20 reps. The more the better, really. But just start with 20. If your flexibility is good enough, then you just grab your hands and you raise the shoulders up behind you. Great stretch for the front of the shoulder, the chest, and the same thing. You don't need to use the pipe. You can do this wherever, whenever. I recommend doing this whenever you feel a little bit of pain, whenever you feel tight. Do this every single day. Moving on, we want to get more extension in the back. You can do this with a bar on a squat rack or a power cage, or you can do it with furniture. All you need to do is find something that's about a foot or 2 or 3 feet high and just put yourself into extension. What do you think this is stretching? This is stretching the lats, the chest. This is opening your back. Another exercise, we have to strengthen the backside of the body. You need to do rowing. I don't care if you do it like this, if you do it with cables, if you do it with resistance bands, if you do it with a barbell or a dumbbell. But when you're doing it, keep your neck straight. I see too many people with a barbell poking their neck forward when they're doing it. And I'm just showing different angles of height to make this exercise a little bit harder or easier. Another exercise here, great for opening the back. You're decompressing. You're relieving all the pressure on those discs. And I just want you guys to twist. I want you to go side to side too. You're going to really feel this open your back. You're compressed since the day you stand up. The second you stand up, you have to take the time to decompress. A rare exercise that you don't see a lot of people doing, you have to strengthen the lower traps. With forward head posture and also the hunchback, you're always shrugging your shoulders, which is horrible. You have to strengthen the other muscles, the lower traps. They're going to pull the shoulders down, and the mid-back is going to pull your shoulders back. This is great for your posture. Basically, all you're doing is pushing down, and these are just different variations that make it harder or easier. All right, we're looking at one of the final exercises. We're stretching the chest at 3 different angles. You start in any doorway. You put your hands above your head. I'm choking on my spit, I guess. And then you come back to the middle, and you do each for 20 seconds, but I'm just making this video short and sweet as possible. And then you go to the bottom. 3 different angles, and then you can stretch one at a time.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching the video. A couple things to remember as you're fixing your posture is that as you're doing the exercises, you want to make sure that there's no pain as you're doing them. If there's pain, then it's probably not the right exercise for you. Skip it over, see a doctor, and make sure that there's nothing serious going on with your body. If you're doing some of the releases and there's a little bit of pain, that's a different story. But if you're doing an exercise, it should feel okay or start to feel better as you're doing it, particularly the extension exercises that are opening up those discs and getting the herniation to move from the back to the front. So other than that, you should have realistic expectations, because it might have taken you years, over 5 years, to develop this poor posture. So give yourself time to actually start seeing changes. Take progress pictures every single month and realize that you'll get fast results in terms of healing your pain, feeling better, having better energy. But in terms of actually changing the structure of your joints and bones, it takes some time to build, strengthen the muscles, to strengthen what was weak and to stretch out what was tight. Let alone if your bones actually have to move. It's like braces. It could take 3, 6, 9, 12 months. Who knows? It's really determined by who you are and what's going on with your body. So other than that, just remember, be consistent. Take a time of the day that you're going to easily do these exercises, that you're not going to come home from work and it's going to be too difficult. Be realistic about it. Be consistent. And remember, you can change your posture if you're consistent enough. The most important thing is to change your daily habits, but then get on this routine and you're going to see great results. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like me on Facebook. I'm going to put a link in the description box below. Please like and subscribe. Please share this with somebody else who has that rounded back posture, and click the notification bell so that you can get more videos on how to stay healthy, have good posture, and to feel and perform at your best. Thank you guys so much. My name is Jonathan Van Dyne. I am your healing professor. Have a great day.